Quite a few years ago, I was working with some people in a circle, and I'd been working with them for some time. And I asked them all to get up individually and tell us who they thought was a really supportive person, meaning truly supporting from love. So I asked them to each get up and talk to every, say directly to every person in the circle. So it was similar to what you're doing, in that you're talking about if you have distance from someone, but it was a little bit different. So anyway, this first person gets up, stands up, and he says, everybody's supportive here. They're all amazing and incredible. I wouldn't say no one here is not supportive. I just think everyone's great. And then someone else got up and didn't want to say anything either. I said, okay, let's try this again. Because I really wanted to find out what frightened parts of their personality they had about different people in the circle, or what they noticed about people that could be supportive. So either way would have been fine. Do you see what I'm saying? So either way. So let's say I see Kristen and I'm saying, well, I think that she's supportive. She seems to say the things that are important to say to people. And then I go to, okay, Grizel, well, I'm not sure about Grizel, and I'm not sure if she can really support or not. And just to really say, this is what I notice about each person. Stephen, well, he's just a little quiet, and I think he might not say what really needs, whatever. Just I had him, because finally, when he actually went around again to really say what he felt, he learned more about himself than about any of the other people. He learned about his unwillingness to say what he was really feeling, whether it came from fear or whether it came from love. So he had an experience of being able to see, I'm not willing to look at myself and feel what's going on in me. And when you can do that, then you know that, first of all, if you can't say something to someone because you're afraid to hurt them, then what happens? If you can't say that to them, then what happens is you don't really have a relationship with them, because you're not going to say what could be most supportive of them in the moment. Do you see what I mean? Because in fear, because your frightened parts will say, I don't want to hurt their feelings. So I'm just going to, in my own little world, say I'm in, that I feel loving toward them. But you haven't really supported them as a spiritual partner. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you speak, you also speak with as much appropriateness and sensitivity as possible. You don't have to say to someone, I think you're so wishy-washy, you're never going to go anywhere.
Well,
you can say, I think that you
fear.
have, I can say that, yeah, that would come from fear, a statement like that. So in other words, speak from love, which will automatically make what you say appropriate and sensitive and helpful.
And be aware that the part of your personality, a frightened part of your personality, is concerned about hurting someone's feelings. I mean, you can just be with that and see if that could be true for you. Because I know that my loving parts never think about things like that. They don't think about hurting someone. They think about, how can I support them? They never think about, I might hurt them. I better not say anything. It's not like that. Only my frightened parts think those things.